We have seen on Tuesday and today the war on women in Wisconsin. But the last couple days nationally, this war has gotten even crazier. A bill was introduced in Arizona to allow an employer to fire a woman who uses birth control. And today, the Republican governor of Pennsylvania, Tom Corbett, was asked about the very intrusive transvaginal ultrasounds, and his comment was, "You just have to close your eyes. You just have to close your eyes," was the comment from the Republican governor of Pennsylvania. Now, I don't know if you all know, but we didn't vote. In 1920, we did that in this country. Now, I understand, in Kuwait it was 2005, and in Iran it was 2001, but we live in the United States here, folks, and we've allowed women to vote since 1920. And this sort of unbelievably regressive thinking is an assault to literally every poor-minded person in Wisconsin. But for some reason, your party has taken a back to the future approach and decided to go back to pre-1920, it appears, because you don't think women matter. But this is about thinking in what century our thinking comes from and what we think about women. Are women truly equal and independent? Or is it about servitude and not being able to make decisions for themselves? Because I find it insulting to women and men to have this sort of legislation that does not provide for equal treatment and equal access and equal opinions about someone's health care. It just doesn't make sense. But since people on your side of the aisle seem to have absolutely no faith in women on making decisions when it comes to reproductive health, I have a substitute here that's going to let you also provide that same mandated opinion on men's reproductive health, Mr. Speaker. I think what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So let's add a little bit of equality. This sub will provide for that very equality. There are a lot of things that people probably don't know about Viagra. And I've got a whole bunch of information here. And if you're worried about a woman being able to make her own decisions about her reproductive health, well, you should be frightened by what a man is able to do right now without your intrusive thinking. So let me offer a little bit of the side effects, if I can, according to some medical documentation about Viagra. Headaches. All right, not the worst. It's a headache. Stuffy nose. Okay, that's cold. Dizziness. All right, let's take a little worse. Diarrhea. Blurred vision. Vomiting. Hypertension. That's a real problem for men, Mr. Speaker. Gastritis. I don't even know what it is, but it sounds really bad. Sudden decrease or loss of hearing. Seizures. Depression. Strange dreams. Numbness. Migraines. Mr. Speaker, pain in the chest. Pain in the chest. Loss of consciousness. Abnormal heart rhythms. And you know what? It goes on and on. Gout. So, I'm far less worried about a woman trying to make her own decisions about her reproductive health because I'm part of the century that we live in where we acknowledge that women are able to make these choices. But since we're going to go back a century or so, where your party wants to go, well, then let's at least have the parity, Mr. Speaker. So I think what's fair is if a man is going in and has some erectile dysfunction issues, I think in my 14 years, that's the first time I erectile dysfunction on the floor of the legislature. Now that they go see a physician and they will have to give consent in front of a third party. Because, clearly I was required of a woman making a decision. So I think if you want a little blue pill, you should make sure that someone who can tell you what color it is can be there verified, I guess. 24 hours. We need a little waiting period so we know what's going on. Because, really, I want people to read through that list, and unless you want potential pain in the chest, you should know what's going on. So that's just pure priority. I think we have a video in here. Because, if you saw all those symptoms in the video, I don't think someone's dying. But you should know that's what you're getting into. Because if you want to speaker, the Republican Party wants to get that involved in every single person's life to the point that they're going to get involved as this bill is. So let's make sure we have parity and equality, and let's make sure we protect the men in this state as much as you're going to be so paternalistically protecting the women. So I want to make sure that my friend from the 63rd doesn't ever have to go through this terrible list. I'm not saying that you're going to, but I want to make sure, Mr. Speaker, that my good friend from the 63rd, and he is a good friend, never has to go through this without having a third party in the room to make sure that he wants to do this. And that he gets to see a video, so he doesn't jump into anything without knowing what he's getting into. I mean, I want to make sure he's making an informed decision because, as we know, people don't have any knowledge about their own bodies and their reproductive choices because we wouldn't have bills like this unless we thought people in Wisconsin were playing idiots. Because that's clearly what this bill is about. We don't trust the people of Wisconsin to make a decision with their doctor about their own health care. So, here we are. Let's go ahead and take that path together. That's what this stuff will do. And I hope that you will never have to go, Mr. Speaker, through this set of symptoms without having that extra advice, that waiting period, that video to make that decision. Because I know I'm telling you, look at your face, you're not able to do it without that extra assistance. So please do not table this up, and let's make sure that we understand just how silly it is to not trust half of the population of our state.